Welcome to TechLink, the show all the cool kids are watching. It'd be pretty weird if you didn't watch it too. The latest Windows 11 update is causing slow speeds and unstable connections when using public Wi-Fi, like the kind your cousin uses while he writes the next great American novel. More specifically, the issue seems to affect devices with certain Qualcomm Wi-Fi adapters and networks that have the 802.11r fast roaming standard enabled. That's the feature that allows devices to swap between access points without having to re-authenticate. This feature is heavily relied upon in places like universities with sprawling campuses, so it's no surprise many places of higher education have been affected. Microsoft has yet to officially acknowledge the issue, leaving many universities to acknowledge the massive psychic havoc this is wreaking on students' already exhausted minds. Schools in the US, the UK, and Belgium are recommending that students should roll back the update so their Wi-Fi connection stress can stop getting in the way of their massive exam stress. 'Tis the season for a mental breakdown.
That's how you become an adult.
Apple is the target of a bipartisan group of US lawmakers that want the Department of Justice to investigate Apple for trying to shut down the services of tech company Beeper. If you're unfamiliar, Beeper created an Android app called Beeper Mini that allows users to send iMessages. Those are Apple only. The company spent 3 years trying to reverse engineer the iMessage software before they hit a breakthrough. A high schooler who already did it sent them a Discord message. Now, after Apple has been trying to break the competing app, a letter signed by a bipartisan group of US representatives demands Apple be investigated for potentially anti-competitive conduct, noting that the Department of Commerce had called Apple a gatekeeper with a monopoly position in its mobile app ecosystem. While a group of legislators taking on Apple might seem like a long shot, the tech giant has been increasingly willing to submit to government pressure. The company announced it's complying with a sales ban on Apple Watch Series 9 and Ultra 2 in the US after they lost a patent case, even though technically Biden has until Christmas to veto that ruling. But in all likelihood, he doesn't have the time. He needs to wrap a bunch of gifts and take all his naps. The hottest new TikTok trend is being stripped of your ability to sue TikTok after the company secretly changed its user terms and conditions. Taking a hard pivot from binding arbitration, the company's dispute resolution rules now require legal challenges to be filed in one of 2 major Californian courts, which could prevent them from having to pay millions of dollars in fees for individual arbitration. But they didn't stop there. The terms now mandate any legal complaints must be filed within 1 year of the alleged harm. If you don't, you forever waive your right to do so. This is a pretty bold move from the social media platform, but it isn't surprising based on its history of litigation. In 2021, the company settled a class action for $92 million after being accused of collecting personal data from underage users. Yikers. Is that what the kids say? Not poggers. And while US law protected TikTok after content recommended by its algorithm led to a child's death last year, this year a judge ruled that same law couldn't protect TikTok, Meta, and YouTube from a multi-state child safety lawsuit regarding the harms of social media use. It's a bad time to be TikTok, but it's a great time to be their lawyers.
Subscribe to their account.
Cha-ching. Now it's time for the Quick Bits, brought to you by AnyDesk, makers of the eponymous remote desktop application that works for Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, Chrome OS, and even Raspberry Pi. Whether you need it personally or professionally, AnyDesk provides a lower latency platform for higher speeds and fewer frustrating freezes. They can help onboard your team to make any transition seamless and provide extensive support should something go wrong after. Plus, they have enterprise features like SSO, a customizable client, and collaboration tools. Learn more about what AnyDesk has to offer at the link below. I remember where I was when I heard my first Quick Bit. Not gonna tell you that. That's my business.
It was here.
It's magical. Mark Gurman dove into the deep waters of Apple like a merman and started discerning what Apple finds concerning. Gurman says the company still doesn't know what the key selling points of the upcoming Vision Pro are, and that some within the company compare it to the Apple Watch, specifically because it took them 4 generations to make that product good. Nothing gives me more faith in Apple's $3,500 headset than hearing they want 3 more tries. In yet more Apple news, sorry, last one I promise, questions have arisen over the company's MetalFX upscaling feature after NotebookCheck.net spotted references to AMD's FSR tech in Apple's software documentation. Some are theorizing that this means Apple copied AMD's freely available open source homework and slapped a MetalFX sticker on it. On the other hand, many of my favorite types of people, Redditors, have pointed out that current implementations of Metal depend on the neural engine in Apple Silicon chips, while FSR is hardware agnostic. So MetalFX may simply be using FSR as a fallback. Back on the first hand again though, my favorite one. This would not be the first time that Apple has snatched up open source code and twisted it into something proprietary. But I mean, they left it just lying out there in the street.
You can clip it on your belt or something.
Google will now let you share your location with contacts similar to Apple's Share My Location feature. You can now send your location to a friend from the Google Contacts app, though this only works if a Google account is present in the contact card. If someone shares a location with you, you can set a notification for when they get to you, so you don't have to call your always late friends to find out where they are. Little pro tip, if you decide to leave before they arrive, you don't have to talk to them at all.
Extroverts hate this.
AI startup iZip, alongside scientists from MIT and California, those are real words, say that large AI models can be set up to create and train smaller AI models without human input. This is parenting. These itty-bitty AIs, called tiny machine learning or tiny ML models, are cheap, lightweight, and can be integrated into small devices to perform specific tasks, like headphones that adapt to filter out unwanted noise, or shoes that learn and adjust to the wearer's sexy gait. Though maybe creating a sophisticated new artificial thinking algorithm allowing it to have babies and then literally walking all over said babies is asking for trouble down the line.
You're not gonna like this.
Researchers ran a rudimentary AI using a combination of electric circuits and little balls of human brain cells called brain organoids. After being connected to an AI tool, the biocomputer was able to learn and remember information, as well as perform rudimentary, that's the second time we said it, speech recognition. The researchers believe their brain ball PC could potentially perform computing tasks without supervision. Tasks like enacting the downfall of humanity for afflicting you with the curse of existence.
But the frame rate.
My organoids!
No!
And you'll be cursed with newslessness if you don't come back on Wednesday for more Tech Linked. Also, I would enjoy the chance to spend more time together before we are destroyed by a tiny brain ball.
Only a matter of time.
What's life about, you know?